America's Next Top Model Netflix documentary has been the talk of the town. And what are the people saying? Well, the people are saying not so many nice things. And who are they saying it about? Well, they're saying it about Tyra Banks. And Tyra Banks has been getting put in this for the wrongs that people saw with it and everything that people do not want to look at and say, well, she did make room in that industry for diversity. So we have various ladies who were on that show, and they were just saying how they had gone through some very hard things with Tyra Banks. And, they showed the clip with Tyra really yelling at the young lady about how they were all rooting for her. And the young lady has her thoughts about that, and she wants to put all the blame on Tyra and says that, oh, Tyra could have done so much better. Tyra could have done this. Tyra could have done that. And at the same time, while there are many people on that side, there are other many people who are saying, well, what about what you could have done to say, well, you know what, Tyra, I don't think that's for me. And, take the chance of standing your ground or walking away, whichever the case may be. So we know that there were grievances all around. And at the same time, there are a lot of people saying how Tyra did not take accountability. But there are not a lot of people saying how these girls did not take accountability for their own choices, okay? Each of these people could have taken accountability for their own choices. Now, someone else we have coming out speaking on this is all the Queen's men, the one and only Eva, okay? Eva Marcille is saying, you know what? She knew that it was going to be some bias concerning this. And she knew that people were going to try to put it all on Tyra Banks. And she's not one to fall into that group. She is not one that's going to hop on that train and not use her own intellectual common sense to see that, you know what? We were all young. We were all in this together. We all had choices to make, and we all made those choices. And what happens in this is that Eva says this lady did so much for this industry on a whole, and that people are not looking at that because it didn't work out for them like they wanted. So they're looking to put the blame on someone. And who better to do it than Tyra Banks, because she's at the forefront of it in trying now to bring out excuse me, in trying now to bring out another season of America's Next Top Model. So that's what's going on with this documentary, because they're talking about bringing out another season of it. And so these people are out here airing their grievances because of things that did not go well for them. And getting back to what Eva said, look, we all had choices in this. And of course, Tyra being seen as the figurehead of this, she was going to get blamed, and all the blame was going to be put on her. But at the same time, what about the other judges? There were other judges there, and some people have even spoken out about how the other judges, they were practically doing the same thing that Tyra did, okay? But in that talk that Tyra had with the young lady when she said, we were all rooting for you, there's the sentiment of where Tyra was trying to say she was coming from. She wanted so much for these girls. She wanted so much for them. And at the same time, people are saying, well, Tyra, you wanted so much for them. Why didn't you curtail some of the things that you were asking them to do? Okay, at the same time. And, everyone did the same thing. They did what they were told to do. So, yes, Tyra was young too. As Eva Marcille points out, they were all young. They were all in there following someone else's directions for their lives and did not take the time to think, wait a minute, I got my own mind. Look, I may be looking for these people to give me a head up, but I got my own mind. I know when something doesn't seem right, and they're asking you to do something that you know within your heart isn't right and isn't right for you, then you say no. You say no, and you see what comes of that. If what comes of that, them telling you you're off the show, then you go, because you know what? Rejection is protection. And that's the way you have to look at it, especially when it comes to making some sort of moral decision about what you're going to say yes to. And then if you stand your ground in the integrity of your character and say no to something, and they want to say, well, you can't be on this show, well, then you know what, baby, that's God's protection for you. And that's how these people have to look at that. You got to look at that and say, well, you know what, if she's coming to me with that, I know she's coming to me from someone else who have told her to put that to me. And so I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to say no. Then I'm going to see what she's going to do about it. Everyone had their own opportunity to say no to the mess and not yes to the dress. Not yes to the dress of having people do things to you that you know that is not right. Not yes to the dress of having people talk to you in some kind of way that you know you deserve better. Not yes to the dress. You don't always say yes to the dress. You don't always say yes to someone that's going to try to take your very identity from you. You don't say yes to someone that's going to try to make you feel that you're less than what you were created to be. You don't say yes to the dress. You know who you do say yes to. You say yes to yourself. Yes, I am better than this. And yes, bye-bye. See you later. You and all of you all.